Hi guys, Danny October here. I am at the Old Dutch Church in Sleepy Hollow, New York. This is the Old Dutch Church burying ground, home of the Headless Horseman. Today I have a book with me called Tales of the Old Dutch Burying Ground. And I thought I'll show you who it's by and all that. It's by the Friends of the Old Dutch Church. So it was written a while ago and revised a few times. But I thought it would be fun today if we went through the book a little bit, because in this book they have a map of the burying grounds, and you can see like they have some markers, and then they have a short explanation, of who the person was, when they died, a little bit of their life. So it goes through a little bit of a history of each person. Well, I mean, there's close to 1,000 graves in this burying ground, but I think it covers maybe about 30 of them, kind of like the most important of historically of that time. So this is the Old Dutch Church. You're gonna have to bear with me though, because I only have one hand to turn pages and all this. So we'll go through the book together. So as you see, the first says the Old Dutch Church, page 18. So let's go to page 18 and I will read you what it says about the Old Dutch Church. Dun, dun, dun. So it says, here we have, so this book is great because you can bring this with you to the cemetery and do your own walking tour, so to speak. So I won't read the whole thing because it's very long, but I'll read a little bit of each passage. And I'm sorry if it's loud. This is Broadway here, which is a very main highway, so I'll speak as loud as I can. So Frederick Phillips, who is buried with his family in the crypt, built this church with local timber, field stones from cleared farmland, and yellow bricks imported from Holland. The basic rectangular building has a three-sided asp at the pulpit end and is surmounted by a Dutch gabled roof and a small bell tower. The bell still used to call congregation to worship in summer is richly decorated with cherubs, flying birds, and an owl. So that's the bell up there. It bears the Latin inscription, I am not going to pretend to read this right, Si Deus pro nobis, quis contra nos, which means if God is for us, who can be against us? The bell was cast in Holland and is engraved 1685, and therefore many historians use the year 1685 to date the church. So there's a lot more about the Old Dutch Church, but it'll take the whole video to read. So it's just a little information about that. Next on the walking tour is, let's see, Eleanor Van Tassel Brush. So we'll go to her grave. Sorry about the noise, guys. So her grave is here. I'd have to go all the way around to get into it, which you can do, but I want to save some time. So this is right there. That's the grave of Eleanor Van Tassel Brush. The imposing marble monument for the Brush family includes the name of Eleanor Brush, born Eleanor Van Tassel, a beautiful Dutch maiden who may have provided the inspiration for Katrina Van Tassel in Washington Irving's The Legend of Sleepy Hollow. Eleanor, or Laney as she was called, was the adored daughter of the Revolutionary officer Jacob Van Tassel, known as the hero of the goose gun. He was the brother of Petrus Van Tassel and also has his grave in the burying ground. He and his family lived on farm hard by the banks of the Hudson, which Irving later bought and named Sunnyside. So the house that this woman lived in later became what is known today as Sunnyside, which was Washington Irving's home. So he bought the land and kind of changed it up into what you see today. If you want to see a picture of what it used to look like, you can Google Wolfert's Roost, and maybe even Eleanor Van Tassel or Katrina Van Tassel homestead, and it will come up. So that is her grave. There you have it. Let's see who's next on the list. You have to bear with me while I turn the pages and such. And a little bit of a noise. So next we have the Vanecker family. Let's see where they are, and then we go to the map. So as you see, it says start here. That's the Old Dutch Church. Right next to it, number 2 is Eleanor Van Tassel. And then right next to it is the Ecker family. And then we have some ones that go around the back. So I think maybe I will, let's see what it says about the Vanecker family. I know this isn't the most steady of videos, but I kind of did it on a whim just because I had this book with me and I thought it would be cool. Dun, dun, dun. Okay, so we're gonna go around the back to Reverend Thomas Smith and Jemima Smith. And I'll show you a little bit of the cemetery. Well, burying ground rather. Believe me guys, if I knew how to edit and, you know, cut and go back into footage and do all this, I would, but I don't. So I just use my phone and that's good enough for me. So let's see where they are. Dun, dun, dun. Show you a little bit of the cemetery. I have to go back to the map to see where they are. In the back, right in the back. Oh yeah, so this is them. You just can't see. Oh, here he is. Okay. It's the Reverend. He has a fun story, so I'll tell you that story. Just bear with me. Okay. Here we go. It says, so these two stones are literally right behind the church. So church, stones. It says, in the gallery of colorful characters, Reverend Thomas G. Smith occupies a special niche. Pastor of the Old Dutch Church during the early 19th century, Reverend Smith was widely noted for his slovenly habits. Tobacco juice stained his whiskers, and evidence of his last meal was often on his shirt. But when the good Reverend ascended the pulpit on Sunday morning and began to preach, his appearance was forgotten. People came from miles around to be spellbound by his fire and brimstone oratory. However, neither Reverend Smith's inspiring sermons nor the uncomfortable benches could keep hard-working farmers from dozing off on Sunday mornings, especially during the harvest. One Sunday morning, the congregation was startled awake in the middle of a lengthy sermon by the shout, "Fire! Fire!" "Where's the fire?" they cried, struggling to their feet. "Where's the fire?" Reverend Smith thundered down at them. "In hell for such sleepy Christians as you are." So that's the kind of character he was. Right next to him, as you can see, the much smaller stone, is his wife, Jemima Smith. And in this book, it says of her, one person in Sleepy Hollow who was not impressed by the pastor's ministerial gifts was his wife, known as Cantankerous Jemima. She expressed her disapproval of her husband in strange and inventive ways. Once she locked him in the study before the service, leaving an angry group of deacons to set him free long after devotion should have started. Sometimes she rode a horse up and down in front of the church, making so much noise the congregation could not hear the sermon. On occasion, she brought a pillow to service, lay down on the front bench, and snored loudly. Local opinion held that Reverend Smith was a saint to put up with such a shrewish wife. But Jemima had an answer. If you knew old Smith as well as I do, you wouldn't think so much of him. So that's just a little taste of this book. I'll walk around a little bit more. I highly suggest getting it. If you look on the inside, let's see. So it's Tales of the Old Dutch Burying Ground, a walking tour of the burying ground of the Old Dutch Church of Sleepy Hollow. This is the 4th edition, and it's by the Friends of the Old Dutch Church and Burying Ground in Sleepy Hollow. So pretty nice, pretty nice. It's a beautiful, cool morning here in Sleepy Hollow. It's June, I don't even know what today is. June something, 15th maybe? I have to look at my calendar. Maybe 16th. So here where you have American flags, guys, these are Revolutionary soldiers. So whenever you see a flag, you know that that was a soldier, right? If we come over here, just go for a little walk. I could go through the whole book, but it would take quite a while. This tomb here is the tomb of Katrina Ecker van Tassel. She was also thought to be the namesake inspiration. So Lainey, the first one that I showed you, was kind of shown, known to be the personality inspiration, if you will. But this is the actual Katrina van Tassel. And see, the church is through the trees there, so it's just right over here. You could spot the flag on Petrus van Tassel, who's right next to her. So we'll go for a little walk. If we come back over here. Dun, 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 dun. So if you guys are thinking of visiting Sleepy Hollow this October, you're in luck, because rumor has it, it's not completely confirmed yet, but rumor has it that all of our events are coming back. So that's awesome. This right here, it says, in memory of Abraham Martling, who died after a long and painful illness. This Abraham Martling was thought to be Brom Bones, the inspiration for Brom Bones. So we have Katrina over there, Brom over here, Eleanor over there, who is another Van Tassel. The Van Tassels were a very big family. They're a real family, obviously. They're buried here in Sleepy Hollow. And a lot of them still exist today. I know some Van Tassels. We even have a Van Tassel cleaner. And over here, finally, we have Hulda of Bohemia. She is known as the Witch of Sleepy Hollow. She was an herbalist, a healer, and a patriot. There's kind of a long story behind her. And I only have a few more minutes in the video. But she lived in the woods, and during the Revolutionary War, she fought the British. She was an old lady that was thought to be a witch. Afterwards, she was killed by the British, brought here, buried in an unmarked grave, because she was thought to be a witch. But because she fought for Tarrytown in the Revolutionary War, they did give her a burial in the burying ground, but not a tombstone. And I think it was about 2 years ago, she finally got her tombstone. So look her up, Hulda of Bohemia. And I'm gonna end it there, I think, guys. I just wanted to do a short little video to show you the Old Dutch Church. And I hope to see everyone in October. Take care, bye-bye.